I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. If you're afraid, don't do it. If you're doing it, don't be afraid. An action committed in anger is an action doomed to failure. Who can't stop drinking may get drunken 3 times a month. If he does it more often, he is guilty. To get drunken twice a month is better, once, still more praiseworthy. But not to drink at all, what could be better than this? But where could such a being be found? But if one would find it, it would be worthy of all honor. I am the flail of God. Had you not created great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. There is no value in anything until it is finished. Conquering the world on horseback is easy, it is dismounting and governing that is hard. The greatest happiness is to vanquish your enemies, to chase them before you, to rob them of their wealth, to see those dear to them bathed in tears, to clasp to your bosom their wives and daughters. A man's greatest joy is crushing his enemies. There is no good in anything until it is finished. With heaven's aid I have conquered for you a huge empire. But my life was too short to achieve the conquest of the world. That task is left for you. Attack with aggression, but always have a plan of retreat. The greatest happiness is to scatter your enemy and drive him before you. To see his cities reduced to ashes. To see those who love him shrouded and in tears. And to gather to your bosom his wives and daughters. Not even a mighty warrior can break a frail arrow when it is multiplied and supported by its fellows. As long as you brothers support one another and render assistance to one another, your enemies can never gain the victory over you. But if you fall away from each other, your enemy can break you like frail arrows, one at a time. I hate luxury. I exercise moderation. It will be easy to forget your vision and purpose when you have fine clothes, fast horses and beautiful women. In which case, you will be no better than a slave, and you will surely lose everything. The strength of a wall is neither greater nor less than the courage of the men who defend it. Remember, you have no companions but your shadow. Man's highest joy is in victory, to conquer one's enemies, to pursue them, to deprive them of their possessions, to make their beloved weep, to ride on their horses, and to embrace their wives and daughters. Come and sip from the cup of destruction. It is not sufficient that I succeed, all others must fail. A leader can never be happy until his people are happy. O people, know that you have committed great sins. If you ask me what proof I have for these words, I say it is because I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. All who surrender will be spared. Whoever does not surrender but opposes with struggle and dissension, shall be annihilated. Conquering the world on horseback is easy, it is dismounting and governing that is hard. Heaven grew weary of the excessive pride and luxury of China. I am from the barbaric north. I wear the same clothing and eat the same food as the cowherds and horse herders. We make the same sacrifices and we share our riches. I look upon the nation as a newborn child and I care for my soldiers as though they were my brothers. If unable to abstain from drinking, a man may get drunk 3 times a month. If he does it more than 3 times he is culpable. If he gets drunk twice a month it is better. If once a month, this is still more laudable, and if one does not drink at all, what can be better? But where can I find such a man? If such a man were found he would be worthy of the highest esteem. With heaven's aid I have conquered for you a huge empire. But my life was too short to achieve the conquest of the world. That task is left for you. Even when a friend does something you do not like, he continues to be your friend. If my body dies, let my body die, but do not let my country die. The merit in action lies in finishing it to the end. Just as God gave different fingers to the hand, so has He given different ways to men. Be of one mind and one faith, that you may conquer your enemies and lead long and happy lives. One arrow alone can be easily broken, but many arrows are indestructible. People conquered on different sides of the lake should be ruled on different sides of the lake. One of the joys of travel is visiting new towns and meeting new people. Perhaps my children will live in stone houses and walled towns, not I. The strength of walls depends on the courage of those who guard them. The pleasure and joy of man lies in treading down the rebel and conquering the enemy, in tearing him up by the root, in taking from him all that he has. Those who are adept and brave fellows I have made military commanders. Those who were quick and nimble I have made herders of horses. Those who were not adept I have given a small whip and sent to be shepherds. A man's greatest work is to break his enemies, to drive them before him, to take from them all the things that have been theirs, to hear the weeping of those who cherished them, to take their horses between his knees and to press in his arms the most desirable of their women. In the space of 7 years I have succeeded in accomplishing a great work and uniting the whole world in one empire. My life was too short to achieve the conquest of the whole world. If one must drink, then let one drink thrice a month, for more is bad. If one gets drunk twice a month, it is better. If one gets drunk once a month, that is better still, and if one doesn't drink at all, that is the best of all. Heaven is weary of the luxury of China. I shall remain in the wilderness of the north. I shall return to simplicity and moderations once again. As for the clothes I wear and the food I eat, I shall have the same as cowherds and grooms, and I shall treat my soldiers as brothers. In 100 battles I have been at the forefront, and within 7 years I have performed a great work, for in 6 directions of space all things are subject to one ruler. Despite all expectations, the time of my last campaign and of my passing is near. I wish to die at home. Let not my end disarm you, and on no account weep for me, lest the enemy be warned of my death.